when you look at the stars and see a playground. For decades, science fiction has sold us the dream of the warp drive and the jump to light speed, painting a picture of a universe that is ours for the taking if only we could go fast enough. We view the speed of light, 300 million meters per second, as a goal, a threshold to be crossed. But the laws of physics are not a challenge, they are a warning. The universe has a cosmic speed limit, not to hinder our progress, but to protect the integrity of matter itself. To attempt to reach the speed of light is not an act of exploration, it is an act of molecular suicide. It is a journey into a clinical nightmare where time, mass, and energy conspire to erase the human form. Today we peel back the skin of the cosmos to expose the terrifying reality of the ultimate velocity. This is the death of the traveler. Welcome to Discovered. To understand the danger, we must first look at the butcher of acceleration. The human body is a fragile arrangement of water, bone, and soft tissue, evolved to survive in a narrow band of gravity. We are built for the stillness of the earth. When we discuss traveling at the speed of light, we often gloss over the process of getting there. If you were to accelerate to light speed in a matter of seconds, you would not be a pilot. You would be a memory. At the acceleration required to reach those speeds instantly, the GI force would exceed, say, millitimes the gravity of Earth. In less than a fraction of a second, your skeletal structure would shatter into a fine powder. Your internal organs would be flattened against the rear of your vessel with such force that they would liquefy, turning your thoracic cavity into a molecular slurry. You would not die as a human being. You would be reduced to an organic film on the interior of a machine. Even if we were to accelerate gently, at a constant 1g rate that feels like normal Earth gravity, the nightmare merely changes its shape. It would take you nearly a year of constant thrust to reach the relativistic threshold. During that year, you would be trapped in a metal box, moving deeper into a void that is far from empty. Space is filled with the interstellar medium, a thin fog of hydrogen atoms and microscopic dust grains. At conventional speeds, these are harmless. But at 99% the speed of light, the laws of kinetic energy turn a speck of dust into a nuclear weapon. A single grain of sand striking your vessel would carry the energy of a multi-kiloton bomb. The impact would trigger a subatomic explosion that would vaporize your ship and everything inside it in a microsecond. You are not a traveler. You are a target in a cosmic shooting gallery where Ogniatom is a bullet. But let us assume your vessel is shielded by some impossible technology. You still cannot escape the radiation guillotine. This is the phenomenon of relativistic blutting. As you approach the speed of light, you are catching up to the light waves ahead of you. To your eyes, the beautiful stars would begin to change color, shifting from white to a sickly intense blue. But it doesn't stop there. The light waves are compressed further until they exit the visible spectrum. The ambient starlight of the universe is compressed into high-energy X-rays and lethal gamma radiation. The night sky is no longer a view, it is a furnace. Even with lead shielding meters thick, these cosmic rays would pierce through your vessel like needles through paper. They would shred your DNA, breaking the molecular bonds that hold your cells together. You would suffer from an acute radiation syndrome so severe that your skin would slough off while your nervous system disintegrated. You would be a living corpse, staring into a void of invisible lethal light. Then, there is the curse of Einstein's relativity, the mass singularity. As you move faster, the energy you pump into your vessel stops making you go faster and starts making you heavier. This is a fundamental increase in relativistic mass. As you approach the 300 million meter per second limit, your mass begins to trend toward infinity. You become a gravitational anomaly. The very ship you are in would start to collapse under its own weight. If you were to reach the speed of light, you would possess infinite mass. You would effectively become a black hole, a singularity that would consume not just yourself, but the solar system you left behind. The universe forbids you from reaching this speed because the cost of doing so is the obliteration of the local fabric of spacetime. You are a biological entity trying to become a god of gravity, and the universe will crush you for the attempt. Perhaps the most psychologically devastating consequence is time dilation, the ultimate exile. Time is not a universal constant. It is a flexible, cruel dimension. If you were to travel to a distant star at near light speed and return, you might feel as though only a few weeks have passed, but for the Earth, decades or centuries have vanished. This is the twin paradox replaced with raw, human horror. You would return to a planet that is a ghost of the one you left. Everyone you ever loved, your parents, your children, your friends, would have been dead for generations. Their lives and their very names would be forgotten. You would be a man out of time, a living fossil standing on a world that no longer remembers your history. You would be the only living witness to a dead century, trapped in a body that is young while your soul is ancient. The isolation would be total. The speed of light is a one-way ticket to a lonely grave in a future that doesn't want you. We must also consider the psychological ruin of the void experience. Human beings are sensory creatures. In the deep relativistic void, your senses would fail you. Due to the aberration of light, your field of vision would warp into a tunnel. The universe would appear to shrink into a single, blinding point of light directly in front of you, surrounded by absolute, pitch-black darkness. You would lose all sense of perspective. You would be suspended in a sensory vacuum, a psychological sensory deprivation tank that lasts for years. The human mind is not built for such stagnation. Without the stimulus of others, the brain begins to devour itself. You would suffer from relativistic psychosis, a state where hallucinations become your only reality. You would descend into a madness that no therapy could cure, a prisoner of your own velocity. The discovery of these physical barriers is not a challenge to be overcome. It is a fundamental statement on our place in the cosmos. We are local creatures. We are meant to live and die within the embrace of a single star's gravity. The speed of light is a boundary designed to keep the different parts of the universe isolated. To break that limit is to break the logic of the universe itself. To move a single human being to 99% the speed of light would require more energy than the total output of the entire human race since the dawn of time. And for what? To send a molecular slurry into a radiation-filled void where it will arrive centuries too late. It is the ultimate expression of human hubris. We have spent our history obsessed with speed, but at the edge of the light-speed barrier, progress becomes a wall. Every kilometer per hour you add brings you closer to a state of infinite mass and zero time. You are not moving toward a future. You are moving toward a frozen gravitational death. The stars are not waiting for us. They are watching us from across a distance that was meant to be crossed by flesh and blood. The reality is that you would not have the luxury of thought. You would be a biological system in total collapse, your atoms being pulled apart by the sheer weight of your own existence. You would be a scream frozen in time. This realization that we are effectively imprisoned by the laws of physics is the ultimate psychological gallows. We are a species that dreams of infinity but is tethered to a rock by the very light we use to see. The speed of light is the bars of our cage, and perhaps that is for the best. A species that still fights over the resources of a single planet has no business spreading its chaos to the stars. As we look up at the night sky, we should feel a sense of profound humility. Those points of light are not just far away in space. They are far away in time. They are protected by a barrier that no amount of human ingenuity can truly shatter without destroying the human itself. The void is not a bridge. It is a gulf. Do not waste your brief spark of consciousness trying to outrun the light. You will lose every time. The universe is patient, the physics are absolute, and the light is a wall you might climb. The stars are beautiful, but they are also cold witnesses to our insignificance. Sleep well, knowing that the world you inhabit is the only one you were ever meant to know. The floor is thinner than you think, the stars are further than they seem, and the speed of light. The speed of light is the end of everything you are. If you are prepared to face the truths that the world chooses to ignore, stay with us. There are many more scientific anomalies and cosmic horrors waiting to be unburied. We will continue to explore the truths that have been hidden in the shadows of the stars and the depths of our own limitations. Subscribe to Discovered and activate the notification bell. In a world of comfortable lies, we provide the cold, clinical evidence of reality. See you in the next investigation. Remember, the stars are watching and the end is faster than you think.